Good evening, welcome to our concert tonight. I think you've probably noticed by now that we're doing something a little differently tonight, showing some PowerPoint that tells a little bit about the pieces. And the reason I decided to do that is because all the pieces that we selected for this concert have a water theme to them. And we'll go more into that as we get through the rest of the concert. But it sounds okay, it's a water theme, great. But every piece is different. I mean, it's still a variety of pieces that you hear at a concert, but they all do have some sort of water theme that goes with them. So it's kind of neat, and I thought, well, why not show some pictures and tell you a little bit about each piece? That way, you know, it's kind of hard to read the program notes when the lights are off and all that kind of thing. So, you know, we thought we'd try it. So if you have any feedback on that, please share it with me. I'd just be curious to know what you think. It's not something I would do at every concert, but I thought, well, let's try something different. I really want to recognize our auditorium staff and the technical entertainment crew for that, because they helped set all these things up, and they'll have the PowerPoint set up that you will see for the seniors coming up shortly. So I appreciate that. To Rolf Helm, who's one of our former band members, David Olson, who's the head of the staff, and then also the student helpers as well. And I have a couple who are backstage running this slideshow, so thanks to all of them for that. We'll go on with our next piece, which is one of the lost movement of the folk song suite that the Symphonic Band played in March. This is Sea Songs. I forgot to acknowledge Bethany on the last piece. Bethany. And I should recognize Olivia, too. You've seen him at both of our concerts that we've had so far this semester in January and in March. We've had a wonderful student teacher with us from Illinois State University, Mr. Kyle Bashinger. He's a percussionist, he's a wonderful musician, and he's a great conductor, he's a great teacher. He has built a great rapport with the students throughout the semester. He's been extremely helpful as we've worked on putting together the commission piece that the Symphonic band is playing, and he happens to be playing on a piece and with both of the bands tonight as well to help us supplement the percussion section personnel. So I don't think we could have asked for a better timing for him to be here to help orchestrate all the percussion equipment that's played on the final piece of the concert. But in addition, it's been really great having someone around to help out with all the other things that go on in a regular day in the life of a band director. He worked with both Mr. Mertens and I at the middle school and at the high school. And if you know any band directors who are looking for someone to help them out, or if you're looking at any schools who are looking for a band director, he'd be a great candidate. So find him afterwards and offer him a job, would you? So we wish him this is his final concert with us. So he's conducting both bands. We wish him the very best of luck as he heads off into the real world. And here to conduct Russian Sailors Dance, Mr. Kyle Bashinger. think they're almost set up, but I thought I would put this in here now because of the amount of percussion equipment we have to shuffle on our final piece. I'd like to take an opportunity to recognize the students who are receiving their varsity letters this year. A student who is a junior in our band program will be receiving a varsity letter for their 3 years of participation in band. So I'm going to try to call their names. I didn't mark them in the program, so hopefully I remember them all. If I don't, juniors, if I don't call your name, just stand up anyway, okay? All right. You know, if you don't know, then I don't know what to tell you. So here, juniors, here we go. Luke Yers. We have Trevor Andre, Alex Taylor, Ryan Gus, James Simon, Tyler Zimmer. We're right there in the back. What? Ryan's a sophomore? See? I screwed up. Well, you know what grade you are. Am I forgetting anyone? Jennifer Lee. Next time, I'm just going to say for the next band, all the juniors just stand up. I think it'll be safer that way, probably for everybody. And I'd also like to take an opportunity, and you'll see the PowerPoint in just a minute that recognizes our seniors, but I'd like to recognize the seniors in the concert band. If you would just stand up for a moment. First of all, we have Cassie Anderson on flute. And she has been a wonderful mentor to the younger students. I don't think you're going in education, are you? But if you couldn't ask for a better example of a student in an ensemble with the way not only is she professional, but she plays everything she needs to play. She gets the job done. She takes the job very seriously, but she has fun when it's time to. So I really appreciate that. Caleb Hamby in the percussion section. He's standing up after cymbals. Caleb very quietly goes about doing his job, and you think, well, I wonder where that part is. Well, then all of a sudden there it is, because he's got it figured out, and he's multi-talented. He can play everything in the ensemble and the percussion section equally well, and it's just really great to have a student who can handle any part you throw at them on any different instrument, because sometimes not all percussionists are well-rounded like that, and I appreciate the effort he's put in on that. Caleb Hamby. If you didn't have an opportunity to read the program notes, you'll see some things on the screen about that, but if you sit back and close your eyes and try to picture a whitewater rafting trip, you'll get the idea of this piece, Into the Raging River by Stephen Reineke. we're going to just do a little setup change right now and just move some equipment out of the way so we can bring down the screen for our PowerPoint presentation, and we'll be right back with you in a moment. Thank you to Jessica Stanberry for putting together this year's PowerPoint. Once again, to conduct the Symphonic Band on water music, our student teacher, Mr. Kyle Bashinger. This piece has 3 movements, so please hold your applause until the end of the 3rd movement. Mr. Bashinger. I can talk loud. This rarely happens. the famous words of Lando Calrissian, for you Star Wars fans, it's not my fault. Best line from the movies. Okay, I'm not going to name them. I'm just going to ask them to stand to be recognized because I'm not going to make that mistake again. Although I guess saying somebody that's older than they are is probably better than younger than they are when you're high school, right? All right, juniors, please stand to be recognized for all our junior letter winners. They're in charge next year, so we'll see how it goes. All right, a couple notes about seniors. And hearing that this person is last all the time in this class, I thought I'd start with her first. So, Krista Young, stand up, please. I think Krista would get the award for most growth of confidence in her abilities. Not just in her abilities, but I don't think I can do this from her freshman and sophomore year to being first chair in concert band and then being in symphonic band as well. So wonderful job in all that you've done, Krista. Ashlyn Gardner on piccolo has played piccolo for us for a bunch of years. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm jumping on the applause. You can wait till the end. It makes it go faster. Has played piccolo for us for a couple of years, and I tried to hide the fact that she was my niece. And that I think the secret was out before she even got here. So I pretty much, it's like I didn't want to show any favoritism, but I probably was hard around with anyway as a result of that. So thanks for all your hard work on piccolo. You've done a fabulous job on a really difficult instrument. Ashley. Sarah Deemer. Not only has she distinguished herself in band as a flute player, as a flautist, she's an outstanding singer as well. And when she came to me and said, I wanted to try out for drum major, I was kind of like, really? Are you sure about that? You're not very loud. And, because, you kind of got to be, whether or not, and she did a fabulous job this year, and I really appreciate all of her efforts in that as well. Sarah Deemer. Hannah Larks, clarinet. Hannah has done an awesome job for us, and again, she kind of goes in that confidence thing. She could play, but she didn't want to let you know. When she was in symphonic band as a freshman, it was kind of like, more, Hannah, more, louder, more. And I don't have to do that anymore, so I appreciate all of her efforts in that. And she's setting a really great example for the rest of her section. Hannah Larks. Naomi Cruz, clarinet. I had the best story about Naomi, and I've never forgotten this story. I started conducting the full bands at the elementary schools where you have all the students from the whole school. And I don't think I even taught her on clarinet. I think I just taught the full band there. I can't remember. I don't think I did. Anyway, and she came up to me before the first concert. I can't go to the concert. I have a swim meet. I'm kind of like, what are you talking about? You're going to miss for a swim meet? This girl's never going to last in band. and I think I heard this at my old high school band concert too. It's like, never count anybody out because you don't know what will come back at the end. So here she is as a senior in the symphonic band, Naomi Cruz. I have to move over. I'll be blocking the important people here. Okay, moving on to our saxophones. Taylor Brady on alto saxophone. She has done just a fabulous job as a saxophonist, and I would say between her and several other students, they've redefined what it means to play saxophone in the symphonic band in terms of the level that they have raised it to at this point in time. The last couple of years, the saxophone section has just been phenomenal, and that is due very much in part to what she's done, putting in the time practicing, putting the time on the lessons, and it's shown. She was one of our all-state students this year. Taylor Brady. To our brass section, Sarah Brazeau in the trumpet section. She has, here's the story with Sarah. Sarah comes in and like, here's my instrument. I play the cornet. I'm like, yes, and you will play the trumpet. And she's still playing the cornet, so I guess she won. But I laugh about that too, and I give her a hard time about it. But in all reality, that instrument is, we do play parts in the band that are actually written for cornet versus trumpet. There is a difference. You can look it up later, or look it up on your phone. Just don't bother anybody else. But there is a difference in the instrument, and she's been really key in playing with a really great sound in this ensemble, and always playing out, because that's what you need when you're a trumpet player. Sarah Brazeau. John Cordes. When John started trumpet, he had some range difficulties, and he was at North School too, right? And I thought, how is he ever going to make it through on trumpet? Well, A few lessons, some diligent practice, as you could see, very, very diligent practice in whatever room was available at the time. And he has come a tremendously long way, and he happens to be my next door neighbor on top of that too. So I've seen him grow up over the years, and he's just a wonderful guy, and I'm excited he's going to be a Spartan next year, even though it's a Spartan at a different school, and I wish him the very best there. John Cordes. And in trombone, Franklin Marsh. You look at this guy, what does it say to you? Does it say, I'm a really serious, excellent student who's going on to amazing things, or I'm going to cause as much trouble as I can in your group because I can get away with it? I don't know. There's a little bit of both there, but he doesn't take away from the classroom, and that's what's important, but he has fun while he's doing it. And I think, that exuberance that he brings to every class that he's in, I think is probably really, makes him a really special student in everything, not just in band. So I wish him the very best. Franklin Marsh. Percussion section. Oh, I see how everyone else vacated for you on purpose so they can see you back there. Mason Bross. You're going to hear this guy groove out on the last piece, and it's just going to be amazing. But Mason has been a phenomenal part of this, the percussion section. Bass 4 for how many years? All 4? 3. So basically, he's been the marching bass drum section leader for his sophomore through senior year, and that's the hardest instrument in a marching band to play because you all have to play in line one after the other, and if it doesn't go well, it's pretty obvious. So we really appreciate all the effort that he's put in. Mason Bross. And then, last but not least, Jessica Stanberry. Jessica came into band in high school as a freshman, and she had changed schools, had moved to the middle school, hadn't been participating in band since she had started. Said, yeah. I said, well, what instruments do you play? And she's like, well, I sort of play bells. And I'm like, ooh, you sort of do, okay. And this is marching band. So here you are. We're going to put you outside, throw a bunch of instruments at you, say, play all these. Now play them really loud. And then in addition, we're outside, so you have to listen all around. And she came from that, what we would say, humble beginning to being the snare drum section leader this year. She was principal percussionist at the music camp she was at this summer as well. So to say that she's improved a lot would be pretty much an understatement, beyond all understatements. So, she's done a great job. She's set a really good example for the rest of the students, and I really appreciate all of her efforts. Jessica Stanberry. And okay, can I have all the seniors from both bands please stand one more time for recognition for all their great efforts in this group. Our next piece, and I'll say the composer's name because it's not pronounced anywhere. Darius Milhaud is how you say the composer's name. Darius Milhaud. And as I've been told many times by the students who are the French-speaking students, the name of the piece is Suite Française, right? Yes. So I apologize for butchering the title for months on end here, but I think I finally got it right. This piece has 4 movements. Please hold your applause until the end of the final movement. our final selection, I'd like to take an opportunity to recognize two outstanding members of our band as they graduate and proceed on to other things. The first award, hold these both at the same time, let me try it. The first award is the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award. This is presented to the most outstanding senior jazz band member, and this year's recipient, as announced at the jazz concert back in the end of April, was Taylor Brady. Our second award is the John Philip Sousa Band Award, and as with the Jazz Award, it's given to an exemplary band member, one who has personified the expectations of what is required of a band student, and then beyond that as well, both in musicianship and leadership, but then again, all the other things that encompass what it is to be involved in band. And you know, if you can ask any student, try to put it into words, there's more there that can be said, but it's a tremendous amount of time, effort, energy, responsibility, and on and on and on. And I think, you know, first of all, we hope that all the seniors exemplify those qualities, but we also choose one as voted on by the membership of the band. This year's recipient is Sarah Deemer. Mr. Tanaki said it at his concert on Tuesday night, but that these names are inscribed on plaques that are in the band room. And when students come back and they look at the names of the students around that wall, you hope, and when they see those names, they say these are the students that, you know, really did exemplify the qualities of an outstanding band member. And I think that if you looked at them, you would see that that certainly is the case. There are some really excellent recipients of these awards, so congratulations to them and all the senior class. I'm going to take a brief moment here to introduce this piece a little bit more than what we would normally do, but it's a very special opportunity that we've had to be part of what's going on here tonight with this final piece. This is a commissioned work. It was written specifically for us and a number of other schools. And my flower keeps tipping over, I've noticed, by the way, so I'm sorry about that if my flower is bothering you. But we were presented with an opportunity to participate in a commission project where 5 schools got together and paid the fee of a composer to write a piece for a new piece for band. And when I heard about this opportunity, I thought this is a really great thing, and I spoke to our music boosters about that, and they agreed to participate in that project. So we really appreciate the efforts of the music boosters and everything that's gone into that. I also want to take an opportunity to recognize before we play the piece and a couple people that are here as well. First of all, we have our offstage brass players that you can see down here in the front. We have, in addition to students from our concert band who are playing, we also have Mr. Kirk Lundbeck, who is one of our local residents and is an outstanding trombonist. And we also have Mr. Mark Baldwin on trumpet, who happens to be a Willowbrook High School alumnus as well. And if you were at our concert last year, you heard him solo both with us and with the Willowbrook High School band. I'll also be bringing out momentarily Mr. Garth Anderson, who is a Sycamore High School alumnus, and I should say Mr. Lundbeck is as well. Mr. Garth Anderson is playing the solo E-flat trumpet part, which was actually originally written for John Hagstrom, who's a member of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. So he gets to be a member of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra today on that part. I also want to recognize, too, over here on string bass, Seth Katz, who is one of our outstanding bass members in our orchestra as well, who's playing with us tonight. And also Becca Vidalis, who's playing piano for us on this, because it's quite a challenge to put it all together. And then I went to the first performance of this piece last week at Willowbrook High School, and the piece was commissioned, if you read the program notes, the piece was commissioned for Bill Gilmer's retirement as band director from Willowbrook High School, and his wife was a tremendous part of that. And he actually made the trip out here tonight to come to the concert, so I'd like to bring him up for a moment so he could speak to you as well. Mr. Gilmer.
Problem last year when I was here because he's gotten so tall. I remember Ken when he was this tall. Anyway, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm not going to speak long. I just wanted to particularly thank the music boosters here at Sycamore for your support of this type of project, and hopefully you'll have the opportunity to do some things in the future as well. But these kind of projects keep music alive. A lot of our students don't understand that composers are our heartbeat, all right? And to have living composers write new pieces for people who are your age and my students' age, and commit to the process is fantastic. And so Rob Bradshaw has really bought into this project. He's the composer of the piece, and he visited your school and he spent time at our school surveying the students as to what they would like to have in the composition. And I think he met every mark that was there. So just to say thanks, and to Ken Goodman as well. He's a special student, and we hope that we're very pleased actually that you're doing this piece. So have fun with it. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun. Okay. Thanks.
You know, everyone needs a mentor in their lives in some capacity, and obviously most people probably have had several. You know, Charles Barkley has always said, "I'm not." What did he say? I'm not a role model or whatever. But you know, when you have great role models in your life, that contributes a lot to your development as a musician and other aspects. And I think Mr. Gilmer certainly was that for me. And I hope that I have been able to pass on what I learned from him to these students as well. I have former students now that are already out teaching music and performing music, so you know it's neat to see that legacy. And actually, the principal at Willowbrook High School made some really great remarks about that, about the legacy that you leave as students come and go through your program. So I really appreciate all of his efforts on that. And then one other final note: we are live streaming this concert on the internet tonight. And Mr. Bradshaw is actually watching the concert tonight. He's from Gloucester, Massachusetts, so he's an hour later. I don't think it's too late for him, though, but I think he doesn't have those typical composer hours where he stays up all night. Some of them do that. He's a little more, he gets up a little earlier. So everyone want to give a wave to Mr. Bradshaw to the camera and say, hi there, and thanks for performing. Thanks for writing our piece. We're really happy to perform it for you tonight. So I think I've said enough. I think all the parts are in place. All right, so we're all set. And I think oh, yeah, I'm sorry. They're right. This piece calls for 6 percussionists, and we have 5 in this band. So like I said, it was very fortunate that Mr. Bashinger came along when he did, because we needed a percussionist, and we needed a good one too. So we got those things in this, and we also got someone who's pretty good with technology, so he can run the electronic sounds that you're going to hear that are part of this as well. So I'm very fortunate that he was able to join us on that as well tonight. We've got a couple more things to set up here, and then we'll be ready to start our final piece.
I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. My hut near the Congo and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans, and I've seen its muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. Deep like the rivers. My soul has grown deep. My soul has grown deep, like the rivers.
last thing before we leave tonight. Everyone has recognized us, and we've recognized all the fantastic players that have played with us tonight, but we haven't really recognized Mr. Goodman or Mr. Bashinger enough. So, first, Mr. Bashinger, our student teacher. Usually when you get a student teacher in school, you're like, oh no, what's going to happen with this? They're going to be really slow, treat us like fifth graders, but Mr. Bashinger has been the most amazing student teacher ever. He's funny, he's nice, he knows how to relate to us, and he has brought so much good to this program. So thanks so much, Mr. Bashinger.
All right, and as you guys heard earlier, I had the awesome chance to work with my uncle. I am his niece, and people at first thought that was really, really weird, and that they would, he would favorite me, whatever. But it was such a great experience just to work with him throughout high school, to get to know him better, and for him to get to know me better. And so thank you so much, and from all of us, all the seniors and the entire bands, thank you so much for being what you do and who you are.
Oh, I'm sorry, should I have gone top? No. Oh my goodness, it's my very own poster.
Throughout band, we always have these inside jokes that Goodman just says randomly. Like, one of our favorite quotes is, use a timpani as a table, I'll use your corpse as a table.